Boys and girls of the moto world, what's cooking, you crazy kids? Welcome back to the channel, man. Appreciate you guys coming by. Make sure you subscribe, turn on the bell. You guys got to be here for these watch parties, man. These things are goated. We've only had 3 so far, but they've all been fireworks for very different reasons, but they've all been fireworks regardless, man. Subscribe, turn on the bell. Make sure you guys don't miss them. We're doing a watch party for every round of the super duper motorcycle series, the whole thing. So get set up so you know when we go live. It's a good old time, man. Now look, there is a review, a separate review video coming for Detroit, but this whole Deegan Smith ordeal called for its own little sit down. These comment sections are pure comedy gold, man. Polarizing athletes create a very fascinating breed of human being. As a lifelong Tom Brady fan, it's almost poetic in a way, the way that his retirement coincided with Deegs turning pro. My polarizing figure fandom had a nice, smooth transition. Half of you guys want to see this kid get hit by an asteroid, and the other half of you could watch him T-bone a baby carriage and say that the baby carriage shouldn't have been there. I really try to stay objective and float somewhere in the middle, but I am absolutely a huge fan. The fact that so many fans genuinely believe Jordan missing the main was Hayden's fault is hilarious. But the fact that we have grown men, people that have covered this sport for a living for years, that believe the same thing, that's absolutely terrifying. Like the guy in the press conference. Do you regret the aggressive riding and knocking your teammate out of the championship battle? I'm sorry, sir. Are you referring to the championship battle that Deegan is just as much in as either of his teammates are? Is that the one you're talking about? It just goes to show you have to be really careful. You have to be really careful who you choose to argue with, okay? For anybody that genuinely watched that back and still thinks it's Hayden's fault that Jordan went down or that Jordan missed the main, you simply just have no clue what you're talking about. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be funny. If you watched what took place in those 2-3 corners and you blame that on Hayden, you have no clue what you're talking about, and the fact that you cover the sport professionally is just mind-boggling to me. Now, let me just put this out there first, all right? Let me make this very clear. They are both, all right? Both of them were wrong for the whole thing. There's no reason why you should do that level of dancing, that level of cat and mouse in a heat race. At the end of the day, fall in line and bring it home, man. You're going to be first or second. It's for a gate pick. Who cares? Okay? Both of them should have thought that way. All right? Let me make that very clear. But at the end of the day, that entire thing should have been over in those 2 short shoot corners. It should have been the end of it. Hayden held his line after the whoops, which naturally took Jordan a little high. No big deal. Off to the first short shoot corner. Hayden all but comes to a stop to let Jordan go by him. And looking back, do you know why he did that? The 58 has taken him high, what? Every round but once, maybe one this year? Jordan has taken Hayden high and almost run him off the track. I don't know, I can think of 4 times right off the top of my head this season. So that's in the back of Hayden's mind. This guy has no problem coming for my neck. That's how Hayden's thinking. He has shown me week after week, he has no problem coming for my neck. So let me check up, let me use my racecraft. He all but stopped to let him go by. Specifically, so that he could block pass him in the second short shoot corner. And that's what he did. Now, when he went to block pass him, hard on the brakes, he pivoted his bike 180'd, and when he 180'd, they made contact. Nobody went down. They both rode out of the corner. That moment right there, that should have been the end of it. And I'm willing to bet you could pull anybody else that has been in the sport almost 10 years, like Jordan has, put them in that exact situation, and they either win that heat race or they get second. They don't miss the main event. They just don't. They just don't. It should have been over right there. But the 10-year vet, his ego and his pride, it got in the way. It got in the way, and he just sent it. Hayden had the line very clearly. He had almost a bike on him by the time they got into that next corner. But Jordan tried to drill Hayden's swing arm. And I got to tell you, man, eventually these guys are going to learn that kid's balance and strength on the bike isn't like a normal 17-year-old. It's just not. 99% of just turned pros go down immediately if they get hit as hard as Jordan hit Hayden. You literally see Hayden's back wheel bounce, I don't know, 2 feet. That's how hard he hit his swing arm. Jordan took out Jordan trying to take out Hayden. That's what happened, man. Watch it again. Watch it frame by frame. Put it on a big screen. Do whatever you got to do. That's what happened. You can't take somebody out from the outside, bro. Like, what are you guys even talking about? And like I said, it's the fact that we got media guys that think the same way. What? That's really scary. You guys are the ones educating the fans on our sport. That's really scary. That entire incident never should have happened. It should have been over the second Hayden made contact. He should not have made contact when he did. I've already made that very clear. He was silly for going that far in a heat race. That's not the move. That's not the move. But that should have been the end of it. He's the rookie. The other guy's a 10-year veteran, or almost a 10-year veteran. What are we doing, Jordan? What are we doing? He tried to big boy Hayden. Like I said, his pride got in the way, went for his swing arm, and he failed. And then I'm going to take it a step further, okay? If you're still not with me, if you still believe Jordan missed the main because of Hayden, remind me, where was the 238 when Jordan bonsai'd the whoops and just rocket shipped over the berm later on in that heat race? Where was the 238 when, again, in that same heat race, Jordan OJ'd the Dragon's back, just like he did in qualifying, by the way? Where was Hayden when Jordan got a terrible start against a bunch of privateers in the LCQ? Where was Hayden when Jordan stalled the bike for almost 15 seconds in the LCQ? Where was Hayden when Jordan went down in the final corner of the LCQ? And I gotta be honest with you, bro, I feel really bad for Jordan. I feel awful for Jordan. He has to sit on that for 4 weeks, man. I tell you guys this all the time. I'm a fan of all these guys. I want to see them all succeed. I definitely don't want to see somebody in Jordan's position that works as hard as he does, miss a main event, and then just have to sit with that for the next 4 weeks. The East Coast doesn't come back until Atlanta. That sucks. That really sucks. I feel for him, man, and I'm a fan. I think he's an amazing rider. Jordan is an amazing rider. Extremely talented. They all are. That sucks. And the funniest part of the whole thing, we don't even know what Jordan's opinion of the whole thing is. All we've heard is opinions of all the media guys, all the YouTube guys. We don't even know if Jordan thinks it was Hayden's fault or not. I guarantee you, he might need a couple days to cool down and think with a straight head. But when he goes back and watches that film again, he probably already has, he's going to recognize and acknowledge that was my fault. That was my doing. I would bet you any amount of money. Hey, Jordan, why did you miss the main event? Hayden Deegan's name isn't going to come out of his mouth, bro. Like, use some common sense, man. Let me ask you guys this, okay? And be honest with yourselves. Have that exact same situation play out, but switch Jordan and Hayden. Completely switch them and have the exact same thing play out. When Deegan falls down in second place in that heat race, do you really believe he misses the main event? And I mean, be honest with yourself. Okay, I know that's really hard for some people, especially polarizing, the whole deal. Be honest with yourself. There's not a snowball's chance in hell that that kid misses the main event if he goes down exactly the same way, in exactly the same place that Jordan did. He's not going to override the track and try to be a hero and bonsai the whoops. He's not going to OJ the Dragons back. He's not going to fall down in the LCQ in the last lap. He's not going to miss the main event. The 10-year veteran should not have missed the main event, bro. That one little exchange with 3+1 left in that heat race, that's just not an excuse. That is not an excuse. But anyways, man, let me know what you guys think about this whole ordeal in the comments. And again, if you have an intelligent reason as to why you actually believe Hayden took Jordan out, I would love to know. But don't come at me with, oh, Deegan fangirls, they can't see when he's wrong, and but he's never gonna be anything, and his dad is his whole problem, and what? That doesn't seem to be much of a problem so far. Like, that's another thing, actually. You guys gotta realize, since this kid first swung his leg over a dirt bike and went to the racetrack, everybody on that track has been coming for his neck. At first, it was because of his dad's name, and eventually it became because of how fast and dominant he was. All he knows on the racetrack, everybody around me wants my neck. Everybody around me wants me to fail. That's all he knows. So when Jordan beams him in the swing arm, yeah, he's pretty good at staying up and making you go down. 'Cause he's had that run-in how many times? He's ready for it, bro. You're gonna have to come a little bit harder than that. But seriously though, if you have an actual intelligent argument as to why that was on Hayden, let me know. I want to know what you saw that I didn't. And I'm not one of these guys that's all about this, oh, this has been brewing. They don't like each other. The sand track video, oh my God. Guys, a little common sense. A little common sense. I'm as big a Deegan fan as anybody, but think about it just a little bit, man. The sand track video is on the Deegan's channel. They are at the sand track with star mechanics. Do you legitimately think Jordan would sit there and say in front of the mechanics on the team that he has wanted to land on, when he gets in my way, I'm going to blow him off the bike? You think he was being serious? The internet just makes my head hurt, man. You guys really think he was being serious? That makes sense to you? No. Come on, man. I've seen so many times them laughing together and talking and getting along, and they ride together almost every day. Jordan's always commenting on Hayden's Instagram stuff and either complimenting him or joking with him. Like, there's been nothing between those two. It wasn't until that little 50-foot stretch of racetrack that I thought to myself, okay, his ego is bruised. It definitely is bruised. I don't know if everybody else had a point as far as it was brewing or whatever. I still don't know that I buy into that. Like, even his comment about all the people at the Star Pit and it's a circus and this and that. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. The Star Pit, since Hayden turned pro, has been a circus. I didn't take that as like sour grapes or him being jealous or anything. I don't know. Maybe he was. All I know is that little 50-foot stretch of racetrack really made me think about some things differently, because apparently he is sick of this kid either being right on his rear fender or being in front of his front fender and unable to catch him. That's what it looked like to me. Why in the world would he not let off otherwise for 1 second? You know you're going to get him on the next lap. You just showed everybody, including yourself, you're faster than he is. In the whoops anyways. It just makes no sense to me at all. I appreciate you guys coming by, though. Again, we do got a full review video coming out on Detroit in a couple days. We still got to get into the whole AP thing. My heart is still in pieces. The 7-point penalty on Chase. Anstey missing out on points, Jordan missing the main. We still got a lot to go over. But anyways, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, turn on the bell. I'll catch y'all guys in the next video. Until then, peace.